style is green elite darts or green any darts to indicate that they are a zombie. Humans have to use blue or white.
That's gonna be incredibly hard to track because, for one,
Only blasters.
So wait, everybody has guns?
Yes.
That's not HPV anymore. That's just a Nerf war.
yeah. Like, I can like, there was I believe Make Test Battle did a loadout for the Zombie King or something like that. It was more of a joke loadout than anything.
Yeah.
But the guy was running around with a Nerf, football. And he used that to, just chuck it at people and tag them into zombies, and that was allowed.
Melee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm games where it was called a spitter, which is a zombie that had a gun, but there was only the one of them.
If you have everybody with blasters, it's just a Nerf war, but
That's
the other
true,
team is
yeah.
called the Zombies.
Because I didn't really think of it that way.
Plus, everyone would have to have two different types of ammunition, or two different colors of ammunition.
I'd honestly,
Humans use rival, and then zombies use, standard elite or modulus.
Yeah.
But you'd have to have two full loadouts worth of ammunition with you.
And then
Yeah.
scavenging would just be scavenging.
The scavenging would be absolutely terrifying. Honestly, in that kind of scenario, if I was forced in that kind of scenario, I'd say Vortex and Elite. That way, it's
Vortex.
I got my Nitron. I just fixed it.
well, I'd say it'd be better than just Rival because for one, we all know how expensive Rival is. Period.
With the new Prometheus. Oh God.
Yeah, that thing is going to be incredibly expensive to run, but as Walt mentioned, that's for people that know that they can budget that kind of a run. Because if you're going to be spending $20 per reload on that thing, you might as well have the chump change sitting around to be able to go full fucking out.
Or do what Xavier did and make the proton the pack with the 2000 in it for his minigun.
Yeah, but
that costs $300 to fill.
Exactly. Rival ammunition just isn't cheap enough yet to warrant going all fucking out unless you have the extra sitting around and you're willing to unless you have the extra money sitting around and you have a job that will allow you to spend that much on average. But honestly, I'd say Vortex because Vortex is still super cheap. The ammo for it is readily available. The blasters are still fucking everywhere, and if not, then just fucking get a fucking blast Zuka tank and a fucking adapter like what Xavier did.
Yeah, it's not particularly effective, but it works.
Exactly. And if you're gonna be discerning between
throwing them like frisbees than trying to use an XBZ though.
Well, you get my point.
Awesome. Yeah.
Vortex is if you can get good enough to where you can bank them and like know how to like bank them off corners.
Oh my god, I just had the best idea. Fucking Beyblade launchers for Vortex rounds.
Isn't that what Vortex is? More or less, it's like a Beyblade for Nerf.
No. Vortex are just spinning discs. There's a difference between discs and tops, but it would be impractical as hell, but if you mounted the fucking adapter that would actually allow you to stick a Vortex round onto a Beyblade launcher, that would be incredibly hilarious for very obtuse reasons.
Did you, as we were talking about as well in the last one, we were talking about drain blasters and how in this day and age, if you're singling a drain blaster, it doesn't matter where you're playing.
You're gonna get kicked out.
Really bad.
It's just
something you don't do.
I agree.
If you're gonna single anything, single something that is gutless to begin with, and then like what I did with my Battle Scout, I singled that down, and it fired darts very well.
And here I am, just like casually throwing pennies behind Maverick screens because I have no budget.
Okay, this is gonna piss a lot of people off. I've never done a penny mod.
I've never done a penny mod.
It's not a matter of whether or not you have done one. It's a matter of, I have 9 Mavericks sitting in a bin in my hallway that all have pennies in them. I have, like, probably $3 worth of change in those blasters.
So the change in them's worth more than the blasters altogether?
Yeah, okay. One time I spent a dime on a Maverick. I got it at a resale shop. It was an antique store that had a bunch of just miscellaneous toys. They had a Maverick. 10 cents. I said, fuck it. I ended up putting 25 cents worth of change behind the spring. So I legitimately put more into the blaster than I paid for it. And I still spent less than $1. Hell, I spent less than 50 cents.
No, the thing I wanted to get Xavier's opinion on was the Infamous and the Thunderhawk, because we talked about those last podcast. But for all the new special guests and the new people that we bring on, I kind of want to get their opinions on it. So Xavier, what's your opinion first of all on the Infamous?
Well, I haven't actually held one yet, so the picture looks cool.
Classic.
Ignore my dog. Who posted the picture of it compared to the Hyperfire?
I believe that was Jake.
Post a little up in the chat.
I'm trying to find the original post.
Posted. Oh, here I could probably.
I'm not the one who made it. I just stole it on Reddit. I'm trying to find.
There we go.
Stole it from Reddit is 90% of the fucking story of the Nerf community.
So there we go. I reposted the image. That'll kind of give us an idea of it. It looks to be bigger than a Hyperfire.
It
It
looks
is.
really beefy.
I honestly think more from a gimmick standpoint, people are gonna use it just to reload drums and everything constantly. They'll have like a modified backpack that's just this one big ass funnel. They have like maybe 2 drums that they just swap between constantly.
I actually love
RSCB.
the idea. I've seen like, a Lego reloader made, or a magazine reloader made entirely out of Legos, and I've considered building that into a backpack.
Oh?
Awesome.
Do you have a video for that? Because I have. Okay. I decided to. I decided to bite the bullet and buy a bunch of Lepin. I believe you talked about Lepin once on one of your podcasts, but yeah, I decided to. I decided to bite the bullet, buy some Lepin. They're decent, but there's a lot of missing pieces.
Yeah, but they're, a tenth the price of Lego.
Exactly. They did you see where they have the fucking UCS Millennium Falcon? It's like
Yep.
$230.
Cheapest I saw it was $150. Yeah.
Yeah, it is nuts. I'd honestly say for like some of the rare and discontinued sets, that would be probably your best bet, like the Emerald Train.
I've
Yeah.
got.
Oh, super
But anyway,
bad.
Distinctly lower, and they tend to miss parts, but you can't beat the price.
Exactly.
But
Like-
they are actually truly counterfeit and therefore illegal.
Well, yeah. I
You
picked
can't
up a
afford the
few
real
sets.
thing.
I picked up a few sets. The Superstar Destroyer. The I originally wanted to get the Holiday Train set and one of the modular buildings, one of the retired ones. But the Holiday Train set was out of stock, so he replaced it with a model of a Mini Cooper.
That's not always a bad thing. I
Yeah.
mean, those are always. I love building the car. As I told you, Xavier, I do. I love my Legos. I've been doing them since I'm 6. I'm almost 20. I have the Taj Mahal as well.
Hmm.
Tower. I've got the carousel.
I
And then-
I didn't have a lot to spend on Lepin, so I just said, fuck it.
I would have lived a long way with Lepin.
Yeah, seriously. There is a r/Lepin subreddit, and it's people like just comparing different price sets and everything. Apparently, Lepin the company has a subline called Zingbao, which is used for making actual original sets.
Huh.
Like they had a 7,000 or 8,000 piece fishing museum. This isn't like something that they ripped off from the community or anything. This is something that they paid somebody to actually build, and then they put it into full production. It's beautiful.
Cool.
There's a lot of things like that that are absolutely beautiful. Like I think it was Prickly's Nerf mods he posted on Instagram. He bought an RMS Titanic model, and it was like, and it was a full-on knockoff Lego set of the RMS Titanic. I think it was 1/2500 scale or something like that.
Yeah, once you start getting into custom mocks, you start seeing a lot of people going absolutely balls to the fucking walls. there was somebody that created a mall. It was like something along the lines of 20,000 bricks or something.
Oh, that was
Ja-
that was Jang.
yeah, Jang Bricks. I've been following them for a while.
That mall. I watch his channel. I like his elevated railway. That's very cool.
I'm really considering snagging this blue hammer shot Valor made.
Do it, Valor. Okay, here's a little secret about Valor. He just got fired from his job, which is why he was cranking out all of these blasters.
I mean, I'm about to give him money because he's done crafting Jammy Door, and I have to pay him. It's like a $3 print per door itself.
Yeah, he was
But
telling
I also
me.
had them.
I was talking to him last night, and he said he had finished up the beta testing for the print.
Yes, I know. I had sketched up the original design, and I had another person make it. Paid them for a couple of their parts and a few prototypes, and then I just handed it off to Valor since the guy was being very slow to respond and busy with school and stuff. And then Valor started working on it, and now he's done. There should be a textureless version out soon. Chelo, you can 3D print, right? How do you feel about stripes?
He's got like 4 of them, doesn't he?
Yeah, I went to buy one and ended up with 4.
3
Yeah, something like
printers?
that. Quadruple your production.
I only actually have 3 of them operational. I've
four-
got 2 FlashForge Pro Creator Pros and a DaVinci Junior.
Can you model
Nice.
well?
I'm looking to
I
get
can't
into
model it all yet. I haven't gotten to that stage yet.
I
I'm
can't
looking to
model
get
it
into
all.
3D
but
printing. I just don't know what's good.
I was gonna give him a copy of Jammy Door.
Well, no. The thing is about Nerf and 3D printing is that there are plenty of things that are beautiful, but you have to have either a decently high resolution printer. Like I think nowadays most printers are high enough resolution for it, but you also got to think about the strength of the filament that you're using. You can't just use any off-the-shelf Chinesium stuff. You got to make sure that you have something that can take even minor stress. Otherwise, it's just gonna break on you mid-battle.
Yeah, I bought my printers from Out of Darts and used the filament he recommends. So
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of stuff. There was actually a filament that recently came out. I don't remember what it was called. I'll see if I can track it down for you later. But they, as a product demonstration, carried an entire like 800 kilos of the plastic that they used to make it out of by lifting it up with a crane, and the actual hook was 3D printed out of the filament.
What is he?
nice.
Oh, gee.
It broke at 900 kilograms, so they guaranteed it to carry up to 800 kilograms. And they even showed off the print and how it was at like 75% infill, I think it was.
100? Jesus.
It's just nuts, and I'd honestly recommend it for something like absolute balls to the wall. You know that it's gonna be like sat on kind of thing.
You 3D print a chair, a lawn chair.
Actually, that's a thing. There's a company that's been making, it's more or less a kit that they'll send you, but it's a 3D printer that is, I think it's like 12 foot tall. It's a Delta style, so it's round, built flatform, and it's got like, I think it's like 7 square feet. Oh no, not 7 square feet. It's huge. They showed it off at CES one year, was it Maker Faire, one of those, that they were just casually 3D printing furniture and giving it away in giveaways.
See, I like the guy who's got a 3D printer that he prints castles with.
Oh?
I've heard of people 3D printing cars.
Well, yeah, there was a business that went through and did that, and the poor thing fell apart. Oh,
Business
that!
or-
I've never seen this.
Yeah, I had heard about this.
It's a 3D printer. It's an enormous 3D printer that prints concrete.
Yeah, there's an experimental printer in the
Building
works.
A lot easier.
There's an experimental
What the-
printer in the works that allows you to. What it does is it dispenses steel powder in very specific ways, and if you put it in a crucible, it will melt into a solid piece. Like, it encases it in sand and everything, so it doesn't just like turn into a pile of dust.
Yeah.
But it's still experimental. But they're hoping to have a working and production-ready model by mid 2018.
How quickly we got off topic from Nerf and went to 3D printing.
Well, okay, think about this. With that kind of a 3D printer, we could reasonably start cranking out like stampede gears, metal parts for blasters, like metal sling points, for example.
Chris Vector on my Straven, or AKA Osiris, and it absolutely just completes the look of it because it lines up perfectly with the stock from the Raven, and it lines up with the Vector, and it makes like a nice appearance to it.
I like how everybody in the hobby has like an epic name for their blaster, and then my favorite blaster is Maverick #7 because it's so far the only one that hasn't made a loud crunching noise every time I prime it.
I mean, I currently have a bunch of stupid names. I have a strife named Garlic Bread in all caps.
You have a stripe. That's actually not a bad name for. If you
It's
painted
just
it
a
with
stripe.
Italian flag,
Nope, it's just a standard sleeper strife with some black 3D printed parts on it. I named it Garlic Bread.
Now we need to get you the flavored paints that I've been hearing about. Or no, not flavored, scented. Scented.
Oh, okay,
If you can get me one that smells like garlic bread and like a candy pink, I will definitely use it.
Well, I think it comes out in like a lacquer.
Oh. If you can get a clear coat that's matte that smells like garlic bread, I will use it.
2 months.
Also
it-
And then again,
Also have this glory. I'm gonna have to type it.
in
what was it?
and
so-
long shot.
Yes.
Back on to the topic of the new leaked blasters. Now I know we kind of talked about it a
Yes.
little bit earlier, but the Prometheus, Xavier, what do you think on that? Aside from it being expensive as all hell to run, but what do you think about it?
I want one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now-
I mean, I see why you would, but like, you've got a fucking minigun.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to see it make it shoot darts.
That would be
What, the
absolutely.
minigun?
But then
That would
again,
be kinda
that would be like a Vulcan.
No, the Prometheus. That would be literally against the point. It
Yeah.
would take a lot of time and money. Anything's possible. I am gonna quote Xavier. We have rockets in space, so anything is possible. So it's just a matter of whether or not it's worth doing.
Yeah. Possible and practical are very, very different things.
Like,
A number of people have asked me if I could make a minigun that fired darts, and the
Good.
only way you could do it was you would have to develop an actual disintegrating ring that works with Nerf darts.
yeah, pretty much.
And there's just no way that would ever be practical because they're not rigid enough to support a disintegrating ring.
Like,
We have Vulcan chains.
I mean, the
No, because the problem is the Vulcan chains would pile up outside of the gun in, hundreds of rounds.
unless you had a mechanism that automatically reloaded that, but that would be incredibly impractical. It would misfire constantly.
And at that point, you'd need to be vehicle mounted.
Exactly.
Something I have considered is building a vehicle mounted gun that reloaded Vulcan belts as it cycled through the gun, but again, not practical.
Yeah, like, one of my favorite ideas that I'm still wanting to go through and make, just for the lulz, is 4 Autotomy 20 turrets mounted around the end of the actual original mounting point for it, where they all fire independently. Just for the hell of it. It's completely impractical, but it sounds fun as hell.
Yes, it
Yeah, I
does.
was thinking buying an old beat up S10 and mounting a Vulcan to the back of it and making like a 500 dart chain and just.
I want to get a Polaris Ranger someday and kit it out for zombie killing.
That'd be cool.
I'm surprised you haven't made your own go-kart at this point, specifically for Nerf.
I don't
Get a
have
battle racer.
for it, unfortunately. It's very high on my list of things that I want. What
Oh
I really
my
want
God.
is a Nerf APC.
Oh my god. Blaze just put an idea in my head. Can the Nerf Battle Racer be converted to turn it to a fucking go-kart?
I've said this many times.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure it can easily be converted because it already has a chain drive system on it.
Well,
All you
yeah,
would
it's not a matter of can, it's a matter of who would want to spend the money on it.
Let's get Ryan to do it.
That'd be good.
What, and have him fall on his ass again for another meme?
Yes. I made a server based on it, which got an update really recently.
Oh my god, having a fucking, one of the brushless motors that, Peter Shrapol is using to make a fucking, I say fucking a lot.
Yeah, you
He's
just speak
making
your mind,
his,
don't you?
he's making his own, airplane. Like, flyable, full-size, one-person airplane.
I'll be impressed if he 3D prints it.
He didn't. He 3D printed some of the pieces
Oh,
on it.
3D.
It's already complete. It's already complete. He decided to stop working on it for a while and just work on it in the background because it was taking up too much of his time. But, if you got one of the brushless motors on there, which those have, like, the torque of a literal diesel engine, put that on a cart.
Those things have. So I use them in RC cars, so it's the torque on those is absurd.
No, these are brushless motors the size of a fucking weed eater motor.
Jeez, they're like a small Honda, not car, but like lawnmower.
Yeah, they literally take like a 12S battery to run. The batteries that he had to use, he had to borrow from a professional lipo company.
The biggest lipo I have is 3S.
He had 6
Or-
lipos in there, 2 12S with 2 as redundancy, and they were each the size of cinder blocks.
I might be designing another thing very soon.
Oh god.
Not very useful, but I think
The swarm fires on everything.
That's
think
Walt
it'd be-
Sharp, and he has 4 swarm fires mounted to a rival Chaos.
Nemesis.
Nemesis, yeah, one of the two. They confuse me.
Fires mounted to a Nemesis. Okay, Xavier, you think you could top that?
Yeah, you just need 5 of them.
I mean, yeah, but have fun.
you're not wrong.
Have on your shoulder cannons.
As I say, yeah, two swarm fires on each shoulder cannon with the minigun. It'll be fine. Yeah.
I should ask
And then
Chandler.
one mounted on each arm, one mounted on each leg.
One mounted on each leg.
You have to have a butt thruster to be able to stay standing, but you'd be able to fire non-stop darts for like 4 seconds and then be utterly fucked.
Chalo, I may have something.
We'll fire for 2 straight minutes.
I mean, yeah, but...
Not be safe to go out in public with, because it.
Well, no, it's got plenty of orange on it, and plus, it's not like a cop would think that anybody is carrying around a real minigun.
You never know in this day and age.
Well,
Yeah,
I
honestly,
mean,
2018.
to be honest, yeah, because recently my local police had to deal with a guy that literally mined up his yard to get out of child support payments.
Nice.
Fine.
They only found out that somebody had mined up his yard after somebody threw a baseball into the field. Boom! It was
But yeah, I
fucking
might-
hilarious. Nobody got hurt, but the guy got charged after he literally folded the map to get to his house into a paper airplane and threw it at the cops.
But yes, I might be designing something kind of useless because the demographic for it is just not there. But I want it, and I just want it to have it because I think it's useful for me. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
It's useful for one person. It's useful.
Well, I mean, it's not just
The point of
It's kind of
Nerf
an-
is customization to your specification.
it's kind of a niche thing,
Like
but
that
I might
goes
be making an extended battery battery cover for the barricade.
Yeah, that's got a use. I mean, like, fuck, I've been considering running dual barricades as a sidearm for a while. I just don't
Well,
have
the
the
pro-
barricades.
Like the main problem you typically encounter when with barricades is the battery space or lack thereof. You have no spot for a lipo, so typically you see people running IMR barricades, and I got one. I got a barricade recently, and I just jammed it. Nice. I picked up a gear up barricade just for color matching, and now I'm actually holding it and messing with it. And I kind of want to make something out of it. Run a gear up loadout.
Now all you need to do is get a color match 3D printing filament for gear up.
Nope, I'm just gonna go with black.
Aw.
Orange and black with some metallic gunmetal gray.
Orange is the new black.
My current primary I'm working on is my Blizzard Long Strike, which I am waiting on my OMW kit for.
The current blaster
I
I'm
call it
working
the
on
Pearl
is
White
Maverick number
White
10, It is the fucking one of the actual slides on it, where the rod connects to the other side. It snapped, and so I've got to fix that. That's literally
the reason I'm actually buying the Orange ModWorks kit for the long strike is because I broke my bolt sled.
Same.
You broke your broat sled?
I broke my bolt sled.
Where the heck is my order from Grehas?
Yeah, agree.
NF Strike actually had the kit in stock, and I think they still have it too. So
Actually, I've got to get back in contact with Monkey Mods because I actually ordered something for a friend from them back in December, and I have still not seen high nor low of it.
no, I ordered stickers on Instagram for my car about last July. Still haven't seen them.
Well, of course, because you're buying something off of Instagram.
Sorry, Amazon.
Oh, I was about to say, if you're buying something off of Instagram, that's probably why you're not going to see it.
Amazon, sorry.
But, no, yeah, I bought him an XSW auto pusher, and I contacted Monkey Mods about it about a week ago now, and they said, yeah, what's your order number? I gave them the order number. I have not heard back from them since. I messaged them again 2 days ago, like, hey, I asked if you could give me, like, an updated tracking number, or at least tell me if this shipped, like, 3 days ago, and you have not responded to me. Can I get some kind of help? And so far, nothing.
Yeah. NF Strike, and I'm 20 to 30 days shipping was the base. I'm just like, okay, this is gonna be a while.
Yeah, I actually, like, right after Welcome got in his Lytake darts, back when Lytake was just Lytake, I actually ended up ordering, I think it was about 50, just for the hell of it, because I needed some extra darts sitting around, and, well, I got them in, worked just fine. I think they came in like a week.
Not bad at all. But now I guess because everyone is it's kind of backing up. But I like that NF Strike, man. They got good deals on those worker kits. Excellent deal on the worker kits.
Yeah, one of the users over on Fuzzy Walrus Industries, Lady Denna, she's actually bought, like, I think she said something along the lines of, like, 6,000 darts total from Lytake, and probably has spent maybe 100, maybe $200 from it.
I think I paid
$23 for 1,000. So
yeah,
that's not bad at all.
No. Well, especially if you're getting AccuFakes, because 1,000 AccuFake or 1,000 AccuStrike darts will run you about $480,
but
as compared to $23 from Lytake.
Yeah.
Lytake
And
is
the
awesome.
AccuFakes are better. So what does that tell you?
It's just one of those things.
After the holiday. Oh no, it was before Christmas. I was at Walmart getting some last minute stuff, and they had 25. What was it? 25 or 50 Elite and 50 AccuStrikes. I think it was what, $30, $20 something.
Yeah, a lot of people were posting that family members got that for them for Christmas because they were like, "Oh, it looks like such a deal." But that reminds me, Captain Xavier, did you hear about how the Thunderhawk is gonna have mega AccuStrike ammo?
Yes, I've heard that. We've yet to see a picture of the actual ammo, but it also looks like it takes a clip, which you would
It does.
think you would have heard us bitch about the Battle Scout.
Brett said
As
that.
Ray put it perfectly. He goes, it's a
blank? I didn't know that something could be a blank.
He said something along the lines of a deployed battle scout something.
I was gonna say, it looks like a cross between a deploy and a Battle Scout. You're like, I'm sure it's
And then picked up on steroids.
nifty, but why?
The unholy child of a Centurion a battle scout, a Centurion, and a deploy walk into a bar.
They took the 3 worst blasters they've ever made and made one more out of it, and it may be good. We haven't seen it yet. It could shoot
it could take a monster.
200 feet flat and in a 1-inch, target area. Who knows? But
thinking on the way that AccuStrike works, I'm actually excited to see if it is just larger AccuStrike darts, because that might actually make Mega viable at longer ranges.
well, yeah, because I mean the Mega Whistlers are horrific at any high velocity at any distance.
Yeah.
But both the Busby and the Lytake suction cup head megas fly straight as an arrow.
And then
I
you add.
Still don't have the mass to overcome their size, and so they don't go far enough.
They fly straight enough to where
They fly straight. They just you can only get about 60 feet out of them.
Yeah.
But that's largely, like I said, I think that's mass versus wind resistance. So if you were to increase the mass or
Decrease
make the
wind
head a little more
resistance.
aerodynamic, you
Yeah.
might be able to get some decent range out of them.
like
But
an indoor setting, it would fly better than maybe an outdoor setting.
No,
Quite
because. Yeah. Physics
And
was
in
not my
outdoor
strong
settings,
point.
react very differently indoors than outdoors. So I mean that's very possible. Rival is night and day difference indoors versus outdoors.
Yeah, especially in CQB.
Yeah.
Rival, it's like they pretty much designed Rival to not be allowed to do long range because of how shit it does after like what I think it was like 80 feet. It just
Yeah, about
dies.
80 feet, and you're just gonna drop straight to the ground because they've got too much mass.
Or you do a fucking right angle turn straight up into the sky
Yes.
with a banquet arrow.
90-degree turns around corners. That's fun stuff.
I'm
Oh,
surprised.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
surprised.
that's like Vortex sniper status, just shooting around a corner.
Yep.
An attachment for Ire where it's just the round the corner shooter.
Oh my god.
Well, I think out of darts, I don't know if he actually ever made it. I know he was discussing it, and I've thought of it, is making the hop up on the front of the barrel adjustable so you could rotate it 90 degrees one way or the other.
So that
Chalo,
way
I
you
have an
could
interesting
legitimately shoot around corners.
Yeah, without having to turn your gun sideways.
Shaylo, I have an interesting question.
Alright.
If I were to able, oh god, it's Beret's typing. Maybe he'll
God.
join.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
If I was able to somehow get you clear, well, transparent or translucent orange for some of the.
Beret, he's hilarious.
Brett is Brett.
I don't know.
His profile
Brett?
picture is the exact opposite of him, and I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I just find it inherently. If I were Chalo, if I were able to get you some clear orange casted resin parts, some of the smaller ones, would you consider putting LEDs inside of Ire?
No.
No? Is it already that jam packed?
No, I just don't want to do that.
Because that's a lot of wiring.
The only place I mean, it currently does have a UV LED for lighting up glow in the dark. And I have been very, very tempted to add muzzle flash.
You should.
And well, the reason that I'm really tempted, and I almost certainly will whenever I get it back from out of darts, he was doing a photo shoot on it. The ammo counter already has the circuit built in.
For a muzzle flash?
So that every time the counter decrements, it sends a pulse. So if you hook an LED to that, it'll pulse an LED. The guy who designed it built that in intentionally and just never bothered to tell me until I mentioned it in one of my videos. And he messaged me and goes, "Oh yeah, just plug it into to this pin." And you're like, "You magnificent bastard."
So what you do to Iron is like what the Star Wars blasters have. They have that little.
They have the lights and sound effects.
Yeah, and I'd have it right at the end of the muzzle. So I'd have to add some.
I might do that to my Stampede, which is sitting up on my wall because it doesn't work right now.
Like, I remember there was, Chalo, your incident is kind of similar to something that I saw on Twitter earlier. Some guy had been living in a house for 10 years, and he was complaining about how the bottom rack on his dishwasher couldn't hold his plates, and he only realized the other day that he could actually raise the upper drawer to be able to fit all those plates, and it took him 10 years to realize that.
Oh yeah, I've done things like that. The example that I point out is, when people are surprised that it took someone so long to figure something out, we'd invented vision correcting lenses 500 years before someone got the bright idea of just wiring them directly to your face.
Yep.
We had telescopes, we had, spy glasses, but nobody had thought to wire a pair in front of your eyes for 500 years.
I can't see.
So,
Let me just dig in my
don't
pocket
feel
for
bad
this
about it.
monocle real quick. Hold on. And then put
Yeah.
it on. And then be like, okay, I'm done. Hey, I can't see.
Okay, old chap. There you go.
Oh yes, quite.
I've gotten, I mean, so many times people have commented something in my comment section. I just, had to go sit in a corner and cry because I feel like I'm an idiot for having never thought of it before.
That
You should do this. He's like, yes, I should.
Oh,
To the
I
shop.
should, but you've already suggested it, and now 30 people are probably doing it.
Oh my god. I'm just imagining every time you say to the shop, it's just the Batman transition. Da-da-da-da-da.
Pretty much. So there was the one that the day with all the stock attachments that resulted in the tactical jolt was that. I did one, and someone's like, you should do this. You're like, yeah, I should. So I went and I did it, posted the video, and like, you should do this. Yes, I should. Went to the shop, came back.
The tactical
You just spend 3 days doing that.
That was one whole day, but I went through 3 different ones, I think.
Nice.
So, it was
That
a lot.
intro and the look at all this loot. None for you. Those are the greatest ones. Those have to be my favorite. They add that little flavor to it, which just makes the whole video better.
Yeah, I've been wanting to redo my intros since pretty much I made the damn thing, and it took me a year and a half, and now I've got different intros for every series.
I love
Is
it.
it
Is the greatest one. It's one of the greatest.
is the bunker actually named the undisclosed bunker?
Yes.
That's the actual proper noun.
Yeah, Walcom coined it like a year and a half ago, and that's just what we all call it all the time, the undisclosed bunker.
That's pretty
I
much
love
what
it.
it is now, considering the amount of fucking Nerf guns you have in there.
Yep.
Oh, hey, it's Valerie.
Hey, Valor. Oh no, this is gonna be awkward.
Yeah,
Welcome to
sounds
the stream,
same.
Valerie.
Valerie here is a good personal friend of mine. He's a nice guy. I
Same.
like him.
He's awesome. He's chill. He's a cool guy.
You two sound a lot alike.
Hey, JLo, how's it going?
Going well.
We talked about the Prometheus. We talked about all the other stuff. What would be something that you would see Hasbro take from an older line or upgrade it to current standards and re-release it as either Elite, Modulus, or Zombie Strike?
The Jolt.
See, I would actually like to see a good functional deploy, quite frankly. Something that actually folds up and looks like a briefcase. You push the button and it deploys into a blaster.
Something kind of like the Purse Blaster.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
blaster.
But
Spring
larger and
loaded.
magazine fed and end strike.
I got 3 of them. I sacrificed one of them to make an LMG Vulcan.
Wouldn't the difficult part of making it mag fed be getting a decent mag capacity while still maintaining that shape?
Well, you would assume that you'd have a 6-round magazine in it when it's deployed, and then once that's out, you would switch to a larger mag once you've deployed it.
Got it.
So here's something funny. My friend just messaged me and was like, "Hey, have you seen Captain Xavier's video on the Claymore from Banggood yet?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm currently talking with him. He just fucking freaks out."
Oh, gosh.
I just
No,
told
That thing is
people.
entirely too much.
He told me to tell you that a big fan says hi.
On a smaller channel, but I really appreciate that you're willing to actually set aside time in your day and actually join this podcast.
You talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
awesome
you're-
that
You're welcome. This is lovely.
but yeah, my friend told me to tell you that a big fan says hi, please.
Well, say hi back. And tell him that I waved and, awkwardly.
Oh, isn't Chalo frequent the same wars Walcom and Brett do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have a
There's somebody new that's gonna be coming apparently.
very good pal of mine.
Well, no. Pimptimus Prime was his username over on Wacom's Discord.
I'm not gonna lie, awesome username.
Oh, apparently my friend says that he's gonna mail you a box of dead Nerf shells that he has no use for that he knows you could use.
Oh, I've got a bunch of dead ones too. I could send you.
Somebody is
See the
probably
video where I recently threw out 2 full garbage cans worth of dead shells?
Exactly.
I'll take all the
Rapid strikes and
Well,
hyperfire.
Most
See, now those parts I could take. But, if he sends me a box of Mavericks,
no,
I have a ton of fun.
he has 8 Titans casually because that's literally everything that he can ever thrift. He has turned down like 20 Titans in the past month.
good lord.
Hello, did you know there were a blue and green Titan?
Yes.
Yes.
There were
I've never
4
Just the red one.
Titans?
No, there were, as far as I know, there were the 3.
I thought there was a 4th. I must be thinking of something else.
But
But
they didn't have all of the accessories in all of the colors. I don't believe.
But yeah, this
Thrifting I ever did was I picked up 2 good thrifts. One was at a flea market and one was at a thrift store. I picked up a quick 16 for $1.50. Loaded mag.
like no, I have the only dart tag stuff I have is when I got it brand new as a Christmas present for my older brothers. And those were the Fury Fires.
Oh, I have what are the little pistols?
Uh
How little? There's the
The
Eliminator, there's the Element.
I think no, the little dart tag pistol.
I think the Eliminator.
Yeah, I think it was.
The one that had the extendable hand grip.
What? Oh, that actually raises another point. Have you ever thought about using any of the laser tag stuff?
Yeah, I did laser tag before I did Nerf.
No. They had Nerf laser tag stuff. Have you looked at any of the shells for it?
Nerf laser tag stuff?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a thing.
They had a thing called the Phoenix or something. And there was another thing, but they have beautiful grips on them, man. Absolutely fucking
yeah,
beautiful.
those. No, I haven't, but yeah, those are. I didn't know those were. Well,
They were a
Nerf.
thing. Yeah, they.
Tiger. Okay, yeah, I see them in Goodwill all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one thrift store in like a 10-mile radius.
The one that I have, they still sell them on Amazon apparently, new in box.
Yeah, they do the little pistols.
But
Yeah.
the handle on them, the handle on it is so fucking comfy. Like I was considering putting that on what was I gonna call it? The piece of shit rifle I'm gonna call it now because I can't remember the name of it. But just the hodgepodge of miscellaneous parts and pieces that I have lying around. It would look absolutely terrible, but it would feel awesome and feel cool firing.
Epoxy, please stay in. I hate working with epoxy. I really do. I really hate it.
Why don't you work with epoxy putty then? Like, I know that epoxy is good for certain situations, but in most situations you can just use epoxy putty.
But it's the dual function. It's running on 2 separate battery packs,
Nice.
which is what I wanted from the beginning, and I'm so happy that it actually works.
Meanwhile, I'm here with the newest fucking blaster I have, being a brute. Like, no diss in the Busby brute. That thing is a monster for its price tag, but yeah.
It's like the Rapid Strike knockoff, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
Kinda, yeah.
it's the Busby Rapid Strike, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
comfortable. I've had it. It's very comfortable.
The fucking grip on it is a piece of shit, though. Thing's barely bigger than a fucking not summer sausage. Tiny sausage.
That's true of all Busby blasters, though, for the most part.
Well, I mean, they are a Chinese company, and Chinese people are majoritively smaller, so...
And they're targeting
No
children.
offense to all my fans
So
if I have any.
large hands for my size, so the Busby ones I can get about 2 fingers on them.
For some reason now I'm just imagining Andre the Giant with Captain Xavier's face.
Oh my god! Someone please. Oh, I don't know.
Don't Photoshop that. Jake, I know you're wanting to. Don't. Bad. Sit.
I hate waiting for parts, by the way.
Same.
I am waiting for a part to be able to upgrade my minigun, and it's annoying.
It's partially why I got a 3D printer.
Yeah, this isn't something I could 3D print, though.
Oh, Sonic, guess what happened to my sling fire after I took that picture?
What happened?
I tried upgrading it to a 10 kilogram, and I warped the teeth on my my priming lever, so I had to print up a new gear piece. But it's fine because it only took like an hour.
Yeah.
Because I printed it completely solid, like I did the other one. I just backed it down to the other spring I had in it.
Yeah, Valor here just this morning put out a blaster called Penny, which, you know what, I'll let him describe it.
It's a sling fire that I made look like it is made out of patinaed copper.
Yeah, I think I saw the picture.
This
I'd try.
patina.
It's very pretty.
Oh,
Pretty
hold on, let me get the picture.
patinaed copper equals old pennies.
And I stencil it in
A penny?
like an old penny. Yeah, like a stencil of an old penny. Hold on, let me get the picture up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it?
I put on the subreddit and everything as well.
Was it? I'm gonna post up real quick. Hold on.
I should mention that Valor for a whole week was trending every single day on the subreddit. Like, oh yeah, I think almost every day for like 2 weeks he
I
was
saw that. That's
trending.
gorgeous.
And it fires as well as it looks. So that's I'm happy with it.
Okay. Hey,
I need to do one of those replacement grips for mine.
everybody's audio, right?
I bought the files
Yeah,
for
I
this
got
thing. I can.
Okay,
print
cool.
one
Because every
instant.
time I open
can
up a
send it to
folder
you.
on my computer, it likes to stop the recording.
What do you, yeah, I assume there's actually a metal bar in there.
Yeah, it's a 5-inch steel rod that goes through part of the gear and then most of the priming lever.
Cool.
It's quite sturdy. It's just I tried putting way too much of a spring load on it and warped the teeth.
Yeah, things have limits.
It'd be great if I could. It'd be great if I had a CNC mill so I could machine it out of Delrin or something. So that way I could feasibly use
Or aluminum
heavier
cast.
spring loads. Yeah, aluminum would be even better, but you know,
Trying
Delrin's
to keep-
cheap.
I'm not gonna
so.
say anything on the post. I just put up.
Okay, just epoxied this gear lever and gear head in place, so I'm gonna have to let that sit for about 15 minutes before I can clean
Yeah,
it
I'm
up a little bit.
currently epoxying my Straven, or Osiris as I call her.
Yeah, I've also been working on Jake's
Lovely.
Strife jam doors.
Full
I've got
flower,
it pretty much
full auto
there.
goodness.
Oh, what?
And War, I'm running this. So if you guys are there and you see me carrying funky looking Straven, that's Osiris.
Oh, there you go. The picture finally uploaded.
It was up there too.
I added a leather grip over
I
the
put on
fake
twice.
wrap on the stock. Added the penny sort of motif that's kind of sponged on.
I like that.
Yeah.
Valor does
Oh, you use
do
the painter pen
incredible
too?
blasters, so
I used the what?
Painting pens too.
Painting pens. Oh, I have a couple, yeah. The like silver and all that.
I do on my fine. I use the ultra fine for doing like lines and stuff.
I used to like
I don't
using the finer stuff for doing screw heads and stuff. I have micro brushes and tester's paint for that now.
Brushes
So
and
that.
type of stuff. I have like standard. I use the Walmart stuff for now because I don't, like I said, I use the painter pens for doing finer details.
Mm.
I do want to get better equipment eventually. It's just money is a small issue.
Like in terms of painting, an airbrush comes in handy.
I don't know where it is. I have it for my RC car bodies I used to paint. They used to come out gorgeous.
and
I
here
wanna-
I am, just a guy that sticks pennies behind Maverick Springs.
I have someone.
I think
who-
you'd have a tough time stuffing this one behind there.
I mean, anything's possible?
Enough epoxy, you could put a Centurion in a Jolt.
I mean,
Can we get a shirt made of that with like all our YouTube channels on the back with enough epoxy? You can make anything work. One. It's an awesome shirt. Oh, your Lego castle, man. That thing is just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I need to finish up the village. I've got most of the interior detail and most of the buildings done, but I recently added a whole building, which required me to evict the gypsies.
I
Oh,
believe
God.
you said something about that on your Lego channel.
Yeah,
I haven't been keeping as up to date with that as I should, to be honest.
yeah, neither have I.
I'm gonna record a video right after this, so there's at least one video in between the first podcast and the second one.
Yeah, the first podcast. Okay, we've technically recorded 3 podcasts now, but only two of them are successfully going to be going up.
Yeah, because the first one, well, that was more of a trial too to see how it would go.
Yeah, and then you tried
but I
recording it
forgot to
using an
record on my
iPhone.
I forgot to record on my end, so that was my bad. That was my L.
On the bright side, at least we have my side of the audio, so if you want to hear just me talk random gibberish for an hour and a half, you can have that.
Cast did pretty well within the first hour. I think he got. I mean, I have 34 subs, so in a first hour, I think I got like almost 20 views. And mind you, I'm a smaller channel, so I'm a very small channel.
I can tell you
Which
now,
really isn't-
it was not my name that brought anybody around.
I know exactly.
It was Brett. It was Brett and
Yeah.
Mr. Nathan.
But I mean, no, for having being a smaller channel and getting that many, or a very small channel and getting that many views in like an hour, for me, I like that. That's impressive for me anyway.
There are people in Nerf that, especially like one of the moderators over on Fuzzy Walrus, Pirate Johnson. He just drives through the internet finding everybody Nerf. Like, he was one of the first few people that came across the Taiwanese kid that was leaking blasters early.
That kid's awesome.
Yeah.
What kind of patina should I do on this? Because it's all gold, kind of copper. It looks like a faded gold, maybe a copper.
I'd start with black washes, then hit that up with a little, like, after you kind of wiped it away and everything, keep going at it, hit it with a heat gun, spray it with a little bit of water to make it run, so you get those nice streaks. That's kind of what I did with this, with the patina on Penny.
I might just do because I originally had it set like a gear up style with the orange and the black lines, but I didn't like that. Then I did the gold, and then it cracked on one side. It has the cracking, but it didn't go all the way through, so it looks like it's just.
Yeah, weather changes and using different brands of paint can do that.
I use Rust-Oleum for everything.
Okay. It might have just been you laying on either too thick or trying to go with another coat before the other one was ready or whatever.
Kalo, I don't know if Walcom showed you the thing he's building.
Apparently not.
I mean,
I sent him the wizard. So if he was talking about a blue wizard, that was on me. I sent him the K-26. I sent him a Battle Scout clip, and he laughed. He's like, "You're having a laugh right now, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Walcom just the other day rejoined back to Fuzzy Walrus, and
Really?
Yeah, he got super drunk in a live stream and said "fuck it" and joined back.
That was last night.
Oh yeah, that was. I must have gotten super drunk.
Chris
No,
Cartaya was
I
posting videos of him drinking like so much.
Bastard.
I know that we got the Walcom dab picture out of last night, so that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Ivan literally spam posted it in every channel, including one that is only seen by the moderators that isn't moderators.
Used an entire tube of epoxy on not even a complete blaster.
I've been guilty of using at least 3 on a blaster before, so.
Yeah, I'm just trying to fill in holes in dead space. I may have to go out and buy another thing.
But yeah,
Full tube.
I can probably say that Walcom is probably instant. What, Jake? What the fuck? Is that? Oh god. Okay, so for reference, Jake here found a jar of your old mayonnaise in his car, completely
Can I explain
sealed.
my own story? Can I just
Yes.
explain my own? So I dropped my phone underneath the chair, and I couldn't get it, so I reached around the back. We were in a drive-thru when this happened, by the way. So I literally unbuckled, jumped in the back seat, reached and grabbed for it, and felt something like, wait, this isn't my phone. So I yanked it out, and it was a jar of mayonnaise. But it had just been sitting there. You could tell it got messed
Well,
up.
that's something every day.
If you look inside of it, you can see that line, that faint line. That's actually liquid.
Yeah,
It's
I
like-
totally wasn't planning on eating later.
So I took it out. I'm like, hey, I found a jar of mayonnaise. So I took a picture of it, and then people started saying, if you
Conversation
eat
when
it,
this is going on.
and then
Or
people
the-
said, hey, I'll give you money. I'll PayPal you money if you eat it. So I said, sure.
And now
Let's see what
people are
happens.
saying no because that could potentially kill you.
I mean,
Yeah,
was
At least give him mild food poisoning.
I'm just gonna clean it
Yeah.
out. I'm gonna clean it out, rinse it out, fill it with
No
vanilla.
good ring of fire to write home about, but
Just gonna clean it out, rinse it out, scrap all of it, probably bleach it and make it a somewhat clean surface. Just fill it with vanilla pudding and watch madness. And so
oh, it's like I've seen videos where people do that, and they'll take like a big old thing of mayonnaise, fill it with like whipped cream or something, take it to school, and just eat it raw. Look like they're eating it raw.
I may or may not have done that once.
I know
Why do
someone
I,
as a
Jake,
senior
why do I
prank
not
in
doubt that
old
you have
high
done that
school,
before?
They
I
sprayed
like how Gavin says Jake. No, America says Jake. Yes.
liquid ass in the air system at my old high school, and it whole school.
Oh, holy shit! Some guy just made a deploy, but the front half is a recon barrel.
Ooh.
He's a mod helping our Nerf
Go ahead and put this
detail.
on, and oh, she is coming together beautifully. Absolutely gorgeous. Nerd. Son of a bitch. There we go. Okay. it's
So
set
back
up.
on the topic of Nerf.
I never shared the the thingy I made.
Back on the topic of Nerf. I think that once that Nerf Claymore starts hitting around on once it starts hitting around on the actual community itself, people start getting it in. I can imagine that there might be some issue if like one kid forgets it in a field and all of a sudden
there's a bomb threat.
yeah, there's a bomb threat, somebody goes near it and it fucking goes off and they think that they've died, but really they just get splattered with slightly moldy rival rounds. Which, to be honest, is almost as bad as getting killed.
Yeah, one of the common questions that I've gotten, it's an excellent question, is are they all on the same frequency?
Probably, but they could also they
20 of one button.
knowing
Pac-Man
knowing
shooting
Chinese manufacturers, they're probably running over Bluetooth. If not Bluetooth, then probably ESP8266, which is a popular Wi-Fi module. Cheap as fuck, like maybe 30 cents to produce and like maybe 50 cents to buy. So in something that costs like $25, you can understand that they might stick that in there. I don't think they'd be on the same frequency, but I would not be surprised either way. Just because that's something you never know. Whenever you buy something from China, there's gonna be some kind of corner cut. Although it would be fucking hilarious if like two rival teams have seven of them on their own team. One guy goes to blow one up, and they just all go.
All go
Exactly.
on.
If they all go,
Hacker-Man achievement unlocked.
And then for the next 20 minutes, they're all like yelling at each other. Who set that off?
What's the
Yeah, I
range
think
on the
we-
remote for that thing? I forget if you.
I don't know actually. I haven't tested that yet.
Watch that
You
have
said-
like 100-foot range. And then
Wait, Xavier, you said that it had a pairing process, didn't it?
Kind of. If you turn on the remote before you turn on the mine, then the remote just blinks until you turn the mine on, and then it pairs. So that could be it actually setting it up. So as long as you didn't turn them all on at exactly the same time, hypothetically, that might be what it's doing. But I'd need to get another one to test.
Yeah. So
Like,
some.
turn them all on at once and sync them up to a single remote.
Oh my
Exactly,
God.
which would be pretty cool if you could set them multiple ones off at once, or if you could set up components.
That makes me
Like-
guess that they're probably running off of Bluetooth, which means the range is gonna be at best 35, 40 feet, and at worst, you're gonna be getting some very spotty signals, but potentially you could set it off from like 50 feet off. I could
Yeah,
still be wrong.
Yeah, I'll have to test it. And I definitely want to get my hands on another one to test that. The other thing people keep recommending is that I should strap it to my back and use it if people sneak up on me. And you're like, if they're sneaking up on me, how would I know to detonate it?
Motion sensor.
a sensor.
No, not motion. Thermal sensor.
Yeah, the downside is the catch
Thermal
is
hunter
very
operated.
sensitive. If you had it armed and mounted on your back, if you took a step, it would go off.
You just
It's
start
basically like those
running.
old it's basically a newer version of the old airsoft version where you'd have two mouse traps set up with the fabric between them.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly how it functions.
It's just
But
this is a
the
mass
catch mechanism is
manufactured
very
version.
weak. You wouldn't be if you'd have to pull the pin out, and then once again, how long is that going to take?
Yeah.
Right.
Like you could probably do something with like a servo or something, but I don't think a servo would be able to act fast enough to be able to fling rounds out like that.
No,
Yeah.
I
It's
wouldn't.
a neat idea, but it's not really practical.
I
But now I really like the idea of mounting a thermal hunter scope on my back and rerouting the indicator so it would light up red when there's someone standing behind me.
I'd
Have yourself
honest-
like a heads-up display.
Like green for-
Actually, that would be pretty damn cool because that would
Oh
be
my
pretty
God.
that would be pretty damn cool and easy because the display on the actual thermal hunter is probably just an LED color. So
It
you
is.
could it probably just is an LED, so you could probably route that to an Arduino. Just say, "Oh, hey, look for voltage on this pin."
Yep, I actually do plan to tinker. I've got 3 of the thermal hunter scopes, and I have plans for 2 of them, but I didn't have plans for the 3rd, so
Now
I may
you
have to
do.
make a back indicator.
Now
do you
you'll
think of the,
finally know if Brett's about to tag you out.
I'll just know right before he tags me. It's not like I'll be able to actually stop him.
Well, I
Oh,
mean, if you had the
yeah,
delay low enough, you could just have a solenoid with a Titan tank, just shotgun blast.
I managed to get a Turbo Advance for $10.
That's a steal.
Mm-hmm. It is going to be the Doomslayer.
I managed to
I'm
get
playing a lot of Doom 20.
I managed to get a Maverick for a dime.
I've been playing a lot of Doom 2016 lately, so
Understandable.
it's going to be the Doomslayer.
All out lately.
But
Granted, that game's great though.
yeah. There was actually something I wanted to look into seeing, and that is how the screen on the Cam ECS was handled. Because if it was handled over a standard LCD driver, you could potentially just put a different camera in there. Like a higher resolution camera, keep the actual screen the same, but you could put a higher resolution camera in there, higher refresh rate camera.
80, right?
What?
The ECS is only a 480p.
Yeah, it's standard definition.
'Cause I know the Battle Scout had a slightly decent camera. For
I
what
was able to get to 720p HD, but
it was
not
still
30 frames per second, and the microphone was horrible, especially when attached to a blaster.
Use it for audio and then dub over it.
True.
Well, that's the thing, though. There was a microphone inside of the Cam ECS, which,
So that-
when you think about it, that is probably the worst idea that you could potentially do. Like,
integrate a microphone into it.
no, put a microphone on a flywheel blaster.
Yeah.
No, they actually have a microphone in those things. So, like, anytime you rev up the blaster, all you hear is going.
At least they had the camera and the blaster be separate battery trays.
Yeah, that's good at the very least.
You could
That way, if you wanted to mod the blaster, you don't have to worry about using some sort of voltage regulator to go to the camera.
Yep.
regulator where it's all in one, and but I guess they had to run it on one circuit.
Saves on space. With the Cam ECS,
No, but-
because it was one big blaster, they just did that because they could.
JLo, have you seen the new battle Terra Scout with the recon with the new 35 drum?
The what now?
They put out a repaint of the Terra Scout that comes with a 35
put
round
out
drum.
Oh,
Terra
Yeah.
Scout with a 35 round drum.
I believe
Nice
Welcome
looking.
going.
and it's black and orange. That's so pretty.
And
It's in
your
your
whole
colors.
loadout is absolutely gorgeous. That black and orange color scheme is absolutely amazing.
I like how everything is coming in your colors nowadays.
It pleases me. I'm not gonna lie. It pleases me greatly.
I mean, I'm literally doing a gear up loadout. That's why I picked
The
Derek
Paint
did.
Osiris in
Wait.
black and orange now.
Have you thought about going with just black and orange darts? Because I know that Lytake had them for a while.
Yeah, I actually do have them. The downside is you can never find them.
Aw.
If you drop a black dart at your feet, you will not be able to find it in the grass. It was
You drop 2 rival rounds at your feet. You'll find one of them.
exactly. And that's why I asked. If you want to know how to support my channel, send me rival ammo. Because if you shot 10 rounds into an empty room, you'd get 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then the other 7 you'd find 3 months down the line when you move the couch.
No, this is in an empty room.
When you're moving to a new house, you'll find them in like the gutter somehow.
Yeah. They'll have gone into the vents.
No,
I've found rival rounds out in the yard have been eaten by rats. So
you'll end up finding the rival rounds in the gutters of your new house.
yes.
What?
You'll rip the carpet, and there'll be 3 of them there. Wow! This house was built in 1920.
You go to unclog the chimney and one just falls straight down with a "Ha bitch" written on it.
No, this is Ho 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 Merry Christmas 2004.
2004 arrival round. Oh my god.
I think I'm
What
gonna
do you
work
think of
on.
the accelerator?
Go ahead. Sorry.
What?
What's it called? The something accelerator. The
Dart zone accelerator.
tactical
Powerball?
something.
Power? No.
The accelerator is
The
basically the
accelerator, which is
BuzzFeed
the Adventure
version.
Force.
Yeah, the Adventure Force accelerator is basically a hopper-fed version of the Hera, but apparently it's got a lot of problems with the first run.
It comes with 20 gauge wiring,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which is lovely.
Lovely.
I think tonight I'm gonna work on my my Recon Mark II with Recon Mark I hardware, and I'm gonna have it be repainted and everything.
Plunger your Recon Mark II.
Plunger. That should be the term whenever you snap a plunger. You plundered
Funny.
your plunger.
I think I'm gonna make it look like N-Strike colors, but it's gonna be metallic.
Ooh.
I'm tempted to paint this black and orange now because of Chalo. I'm very tempted to do that because
I
that
think-
is a good color
Get your
scheme.
own shtick.
I don't really have a set color scheme for my stuff. Like you've seen, I've got purple. I've got the patinaed copper. I've got kind of Fallout-ish blasters. I got the faded colors and color
look, it's Cup of
gradients and all that.
The colors myself personally are pearl white and ice blue, which I did on my a Blizzard Long Strike.
Nice.
I dig
I
it.
spent 3 days detailing one side of it.
Oof. I will fully admit my color scheme is the result of extreme laziness.
Yes, but look, you do the way you do it. It looks absolutely.
It looks absolutely.
It does.
It
A
really
lot
does.
of people in the Fuzzy
Except for
War
the little
server
X
say I sound like you,
stripe.
JLo.
Yeah, well, people say I sound like Kermit the Frog, so.
Hello, Kermit the Frog here.
Frog here.
There's
Kermit
some
the Frog
people
here.
are-
I can say that you do not sound like me.
there are some people on that server that are convinced I'm you.
Yeah,
Or, like-
there are a couple of people that are like, "Oh my God, you're Xavier."
That's got to get really annoying. Real quick.
Like especially whenever I say certain things. Like when I shout.
It was on 4 double A's running out of the firing trigger.
That sounded like it was running off of a half-dead 9-volt battery.
Nope, it's running on 4 double A. I think I have to recharge them though.
Remember when flywheels used to run on 9 volts? When people used to mod them to run on 9 volts? We have come quite
No, we
far.
didn't have IMRs. It's like when that's what we would do. Like the barricade, before I even knew about IMRs, I was getting ready to cut it up and make it a 10.5 volt.
Like,
God.
meh.
Meh.
I mean, at the time, it's what we had, so
Yeah.
Works, it works. Yep.
it worked. If it didn't, you lose a barricade. Whoop
And we've come a long way since then. Like we've come out of the dark days of like batteries and stuff.
Mhm.
We have
Like,
lipos and like even IMRs nowadays.
Actually, here's another good question. Has anybody really started experimenting with the lithium iron phosphate battery packs?
No.
I know that
I've thought about experimenting, like starting to get a bunch of LIHV batteries, just for their amperage.
drones, and I figured you could probably pick those up.
I know, Xavier, I know that you ended up getting in some of the lithium iron phosphate batteries with one of your recent Litec hauls.
Yeah, they work beautifully. And it's the ones that
Sorry.
for their kits. So
Excuse me.
I mean, I've never heard of a battery kit. Do you have to like assemble the battery?
no, I mean their select fire kit and the worker flywheel
It just comes in
kit
a
that they
kit.
sell. They also have the 4-pack of the LIFE batteries.
Which are
That way you
lithium
don't-
iron phosphate.
Yeah, and they recharge just fine and they work beautifully. I mean, you're not going to get 150 FPS using them, obviously, but you're also not going to have to worry about frying your circuit board on your select fire kit.
And
so.
you also don't have to worry about them blowing up as easily because lithium iron phosphate is way more stable.
Yeah, it is a slightly lower voltage though. They average 3.2 instead of 3.5 to 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's just
I'm
like
about
I'm gonna post an image real quick of something that I've been working on.
like it's not gonna hurt anything in the long run. Like I've got a bunch of nickel metal hydride AA batteries that I bought, the bunch of rechargeable ones that I decided, fuck it. It was like 20 of them for $4 or something.
There's a reason for that.
Well, I picked them up. I picked them
Yeah.
up because I just needed a bunch of rechargeable batteries for my Wiimotes because I do a lot of Dolphin emulation.
Wiimotes or Wii remotes? 'Cause
Wiimotes.
It sounds like you said Wiimotes.
Wiimotes is the proper term for it. And so it's listed on the patent, so that's what I say. Anyways, they run at 1.2 volts, which it just means that everything that I put them into says that even if they're fully charged, they says, "Oh, you're not fully charged, mate. You might want to charge your battery soon," even though they'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, but I was getting 100 FPS out of my Strife, my full auto, my select fire Strife with those, and that's what I wanted out of it. So
Nice.
I really need to get a chronograph because I have no idea how hard my my select fire bullpup Strife is hitting. But it has Titan Cronus X with a riot cage, so
A crony, huh? I saw this on the subreddit. I didn't do any looking into it, but apparently there's an open source.
I saw that. I saved
3D
that post
printable.
so I could.
I'm looking at just
Possibly
the
get one.
worker cages. It comes with
The worker
whole
cages are
thing,
decent.
Cages, the motor, the
Like,
wheels.
I'm not so sure about the motors because I haven't had that much experience with them, but the cages at least are
I
quite
think,
nice.
Xavier was talking about. They're in one of his videos. They're just big enough to fit.
Yeah, I went ahead and cut them because they look like they're 132s, which you can get 132s into a Strife cage without or into a
modification.
but it's a real tight fit, and you risk pushing your leads down and shorting on your motor.
Right.
Yeah,
But
that's whenever I.
But since I've got a 3D printer now, I was like, oh, screw it, I'll just cut a hole and print a cage or print a cover.
The thing with a cover with an X on it.
JLo,
I really need to design my own covers.
the motor cover that comes in Walt Sharp's Big Boy Strife kit is just big enough for 132s. They're not big enough for 180s, but I think they're meant for fangs. So,
Yeah.
I've got the files for that. I can send them over to you if you want me to.
Please send me any file you happen to have your hands on.
I've got loads.
I think Chelo is worthy of a jammy door copy when it's complete.
Well, I have to do just one more change that I know will be perfectly suitable. So
It's good. It's good.
after that, it'll be finalized.
Cool.
I want my long strike kit to come in because I cannot wait to make this thing direct plunger.
What would you say the cost of everything at the end of the day is going to be? And I also want my own copy of
I don't
Jammy
know.
Door.
Oh,
I don't know.
Give me a quote.
Brett's online.
Make me an offer, I guess.
I mean, you have the file, and we were collaborating on it.
Yeah, Cryo, that's what I was talking about earlier, the laser tag. Phoenix LTX.
Bucks.
Oh yeah, I wanted to get one of these when I was a kid. My dad said
I
no.
have the gold one. I have it sitting around. I honestly do not want it nor want or have any idea what to do with it because I don't have money to really mod with.
You could rehandle something, like put a new handle on something, because those handles are awesome.
I could, but I don't have the skill for it. I can barely keep my hands still enough to solder something properly. Do you think? Do you think I have stable enough hands to cut something with a bandsaw without cutting my arm off?
I use a hacksaw when I cut my shells, but I measure everything out and I draw like a line down it.
I used to have one of the dollar store hacksaws just sitting around in case I needed to cut
Use
like
one of
small balsa wood pieces. My brother decided, you know what? I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut this 3/8-inch PVC pipe with it. Oh, sorry. The blade just bent to the point where it broke in half. Here, I'll buy you another one.
Hold on.
My older brothers are fun, but they are full of logical fallacy.
Oh, see, I'm an only child, so I mean, I have all the Nerf guns to myself.
I'm the youngest child of 4.
Oh, a pal of mine named Jackson says, "Hi, Chalo."
This was me trying to make an elite.
Whoa.
This was my attempt. Hold on, it's coming up. Give it a second. There it is.
I'm sorry, I'm spamming you a little bit,
Yeah,
JLo.
I'm trying to get the stuff saved, and it's giving me.
Oh, it's because you have notifications on for the server.
You can see the blue stripe in the corner, and then my attempt at a blue stripe.
It's probably nowhere near as bad as every time you go online, whatever, and somebody notices you on Fuzzy Walrus. There's so many fucking raging fanboys on there. Like, they're lovely people, but half of them act like they have mental issues.
All the
One of them
Undertale
does.
fans, but that's another community too, where it's like the rage
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Undertale.
Let's not get into that.
I mean,
Okay,
just talk
YouTube.
to everybody like they're the same, not the same person, but talk to everybody like they're just a person. They'll probably like you.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of how you've snaked? No, lizard? Furried. You've scalied your way onto every server.
Me?
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah. But I'm not a scaly.
I know you're not a scaling. I know you're not a scaling. How many servers do we even share? Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4,
1,
5,
2,
6.
5, 6.
I'm on
Jesus.
7 servers, including my own.
I'm on 42 servers.
I'm
Jesus.
on. I have no idea.
Just Diesel Designs.
There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 servers that I'm never
I'm
really
gonna post
active
my
on.
blaster wall real quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and post that. Why not?
Very pretty.
And
23 servers total.
And then here I am with a fucking bin full of Mavericks, a Buzzbee Brute, a Retaliator, and miscellaneous
I have like 6
blasters.
retaliators.
Like,
Oh, I have the pictures for Jammy Door. It's a bad print, but the design is there. Spam!
Oh god, no.
That's not my print.
It's not his print.
yeah, I can tell. Because Valor at least likes to finish his prints, unlike what looks like a failed print on the top solo picture.
The guy who printed this printed this his first month into actually getting into printing. This is one of his earliest prints.
Well, good on him for having confidence, but whenever you start 3D printing something, don't offer services until you know the way that your printer works.
Well, no, I bought stuff off of him. I commissioned him to make the base file for this because he was the only person who was willing to. Most people are like, I like the idea, but I don't want to make it. I'd rather just print it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I like your idea, so I bought this. I mostly paid for this. It was like $25, and I got a Retaliator stock, and then a few other various 3D printed parts.
Anyone notice how a barricade looks like an Uzi when you have that 3D printed stock on it?
Mm.
It looks like an Uzi.
I don't real
bit, yeah.
steel.
I don't real steel. I'm more
But-
looking at the Hyper. Is it a Hyper Strife?
Fire that I have.
Like, there, fuck, what was I gonna say?
Every day.
No, I was
You know
not
the
gonna
way.
say that. No, God, no. God, no.
Please, no. No.
Not the bees! Ah!
Yeah, that's the stamp. Nothing special, but it's pretty.
We have just hit the 1 minute, or not 1 minute, 1 hour 20 minute mark. At
I mean,
least
it
on
depends.
my recording, which cuts off literally about the first 5 minutes of the recording. So, yeah. Do you want to wrap up?
Hours last time, so
You know what? I'll end up wrapping up. This has been the Cryo Podcast with Captain Xavier,
Hello.
Cryo Customs.
what's going on? This is actually my channel. I don't know why you're doing my
I'm
outro.
doing the outro for you, damn it. Jake Blades. I'm calling you Jake Blades because you're a cunt and you like particulating things.
Okay, Sanic.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Sonic,
I go
not the
fast.
fucking hedgehog.
Goes
There's Cup
fast.
of Joe, who has been sitting here quiet for about 30 minutes.
Eh.
And
Sonic the
there's
Edge.
Valor Lionheart.
Yo.
Bye?
I'll link all.
I'm not done recording. Go on ahead.
I was gonna say I'll link all the channels in the description as I usually do. So
Oh, I don't have a channel.
In the doobly doo, if you get that reference.
indubitably.
No, in the doobly doo. That's an AVE
Indubitably.
reference. AVE is a Kentucky Stan guy. Alright, anyways, bye.